Hey, what's going on, guys? Seeing as how I'm having some computer trouble with my down hard drive, I thought I'd take this time to give you a new room tour. If you saw recently, my videos have maybe looked a little bit different because at the beginning of this year I went and did some rearranging and a little bit of updating here to my space in the room. I think it's an improvement. I'll show that to you guys now. I know some people have been waiting to see this. Actually, as soon as I had everything rearranged, it's just gone completely messy again, so I actually had to clean it up a little bit just to show it to you guys here today. It's still actually kind of a little bit messy, and there's still some parts that I still need to work out. So it's not completely perfect, but I'll just show you guys what I'm working with now currently at the moment. So before we take a look around here, why don't we start outside the room? All right, so just outside my room here, I've got my bookshelf, and sorry, the lighting in this part of the house is pretty bad, so forgive that. I got just some books here, some kind of philosophy books, some other different books there. Really fantastic book here. I did a review on that. Definitely check that out. We got some Matsumoto Taiyo manga there, my favorite manga artist. He's amazing. And we got some Gundam manga here. I've got some Dragon Ball manga down here. Some more just hobby magazines here. On my door, this is something I've had in my room forever. This is just a little flag that I got for a couple bucks at some Daiso in Japan one time, and it means to keep in mind your original goal. I think that's a good philosophy to keep in mind, so that's why I keep that flag around. Now let's start here on the back of the door. This is a poster that I got from Sori Kim. You can see his name there at the top. He's a Korean builder, really amazing builder. You can see his sign there at the bottom. He was the Korean GVWC winner before, and that's a model of his, obviously. Here I got my Converge Jane Doe flag. Converge is one of my favorite bands, and this is arguably probably their best album, so I love that. And below that here is the stack of the larger bootleg third-party kits. So I got some of my Mechanicore kits here, got some Dragon Momoko kits here, some other just random third-party kits, things like that. And then this wall is not really all that changed, probably since the last time you guys saw it in the last room tour video, but let's just go through it. Up in this quadrant here is all of the stuff that's non-Gunpla, so you can see there's some Star Wars, Zoids, some Mac K, some other just kind of random stuff all in there. This section is generally kind of P Bandai, as well as some real grades and some other just kind of random stuff mixed in. Down here is just kind of some master grades and 1/100 scale kits, a few other just random things in there. And then at the bottom we got a couple more frame arms kits, some other larger master grades and high grades, and a couple more older Dragon Momoko kits there, third-party kits, bootleg kits there in the back. This section is basically the larger master grade boxes and some other P Bandai stuff you can see mixed in there. Here we've got mostly HGUC and then some build fighters there along the side. This section up at the top is again a little bit of a mix of just some non-grade 1/144 scale kits, some random other Bandai Gunpla kits, some head busts and things like that. You can see Mechanicore Reserve Store is up there as well, and some other larger 80s kits, 80s Bandai Gunpla kits, some 00 kits. Down here is the mass of Perfect Grade Unicorns, as well as the Perfect Grade Exia. A Daban model, actually Strike Rouge, not really proud of that. I bought it at a different time, let's say. And my Mechanical Clear Sazabi there. And at this section here, mostly kind of newer acquisitions and things like that. But basically all down this side here is all stuff that's built and reviewed. And then this side over here is also stuff that's built and reviewed. But then the middle section is stuff that is not built and reviewed. So that's things that I need to get to doing at some point. Got the Metal Gear Sahelanthropus, Power Dolls, and some other frame arm stuff, and just kind of a mix of stuff. There's some Gunpla in there as well. So that's kind of more my immediate to-do list of kits to review for you guys when I'm between the new releases. All right, so then let's head over here to the actual working area here. As first off, one thing that's very important is of course lighting, so I moved my desk here below the window, which is nice to get some more of that natural light here. But unfortunately this room only has one power outlet, so I've got 4 or 5 different power banks coming out of one outlet, which is probably not exactly safe, but I switched that one on and that gives me my light here over at the painting station. Connected in there is also my compressor, which is down below here. It's a Beetlebug brand compressor, if anyone's wondering what kind of compressor that I use. In this box is basically just Converge figure boxes of Converge figures and things that I have out on my shelf. I just keep the boxes for if and when I have to move. It's just convenient to put them in there to keep them safe again. Up on the wall here, of course, I have my big, huge, giant AO size Shinanju print from my good buddy, Joshua Dara. You can buy this and smaller sizes, of course, and different drawings, whatever else he's got available. You can buy that all on his website, joshuadara.com. And my spray booth, which as you can see, yeah, is a little bit messy at the moment. A little bit. I was recently doing some painting, so haven't really quite cleaned that up. Got the airbrush chilling in the pot here. I use an Iwata Eclipse airbrush. Got this DIY dealie here just for putting in my paint clips. Over on this side, we've got different types of thinner, resin wash, a whole bunch of paint clips and all that stuff. There is a whole separate video on my DIY spray booth. Make sure you watch DIY spray booth video number 2. That is for this version that you're seeing here. That duct just goes up and outside, so what I just do is just open this window here and then open the outer window, and then when that's open I can just put that like that. Someone's honking about something apparently. Yeah, when I switch this guy on here, then that fan's going, sucking air up and out, and this fan is also working, also taking more air out there. So that's nice and convenient, and also have my mask. Always remember to wear that if you're using lacquers. Alright, then behind the booth here, just got some other random supplies here, some tape, clay, soldering iron, plot plates, tubes, plot plate rods, unicorn LED sets, and this is just all the paint. So it's basically like Mr. Color paint is like this half, Gaia paint is this half, it's all lacquer, and then like a whole bunch of primer is all down the middle. It's sort of organized by color. This is all like grays here in the top, and then this is all like green and blue. And then the lower section would be like all browns there, and then it's just kind of like randomly mixed stuff. Like I said, this side is all Gaia paints, so it's just all lacquer, all stuff for spraying. Next shelf down, I've got all my Tamiya enamels. So I used to use these for like detail painting. Again, sort of organized just by gray tones here, and then all colors here. I also got my Gaia fluorescent enamel sets there as well. Over here I do have some acrylic paint, though not very much of it. It's just Mr. Color aqueous acrylic paints. I've barely used these. I didn't really have very good results. I think I need to just do some more practice with those. Just some supplies here, skewers for making paint sticks, spoons for testing out paint, some nail polish for when I want to just paint my nails or whatever. Next shelf down, this is all just like some like mail supplies, envelopes and things like that. And these are Converge and Assault Kingdom figures and things that are just still in the box. I haven't made room for those on my shelves out yet. So, and then at the bottom here is all spray cans. Some of them are used, some of them are brand new. I just need to make some time to actually get around to decanting these boys, and so that I can actually use them in my airbrush. Next to there, got my trash can, good for throwing away trash conveniently right next to the spray booth. And then under there here is some more books. So got these recent books that I recently reviewed for you guys. Got the highly recommended Clash of Deities there, Kevin's book, a couple of Matt K modeling books here, Naoki's amazing Roboholic book, Gundam Scratch Build Manual 1 and 2, a couple of Gundam Hobby Lifes there, Gundam Hobby Japan magazine. Great for if I just like need a break and just need a few minutes to just kind of chill and just pull out one of these, get some inspiration. Alright, so now on to my desk. If you've seen any other videos before, I've talked about it. This desk is handmade. I just built that myself, so I just kind of designed it to what I thought would be useful and convenient for me. So that's what I came up with. My chair here, let's get you out of the way. Starting up at the top, there's just some kits that are just kind of waiting here in limbo just because I don't have boxes for them. So I'm just gonna review these. As you guys know, you've been waiting for me to review some of these, I'm sure. And then a couple other just little guys there, some smaller Advanced Zeta kits and things like that. Got my webcam here for streaming. Haven't really been able to do a whole lot of that quite yet, but that is a really nice camera, so I need to do some more streaming with that with you guys. And yeah, my desk is a little messy at the moment with different projects that I'm working on, so ignore that. I've got one of these adjustable lights here on both sides of the desk, so I can use those as I need. Those are just from IKEA. I think they were like maybe 30 bucks or something like that each, maybe. Just some kind of random supplies here, wire mesh, wire springs, some magnets, brass rods, masking tape, sanding sponges, sanding sticks behind there, sanding sponges, sanding paper, brushes, files, little things like that in there. Up top, just more different types of putty, glue, masking tape, super glue, sanding sticks, different things in there, just some random tools, stuff in there. Got some more painting clips here. These are like the hard metal ones, so they're more like heavy duty. Use those for when I'm like hand painting stuff or working on Converge figures. Those are more useful, I think. Got my God Hand nippers, which were gifted to me. I'm still not using them yet, but they're there for when I need them. This is more kind of like disposable, or I should say like consumable stuff here. Toothpicks, Q-tips and all that in here. Got some liquid primer and some mark softer, mark setter here. Liquid mask, enamel thinner, lighter fluid, sandpaper for the David Union tools, wire of different types there for kind of detail up, sponges there for weathering. And this notebook is where I keep all of my like Gundam and YouTube related ideas, so whenever I'm planning out like a build or planning out a contest or something like that, just keep all that in that notebook. Got my different nippers and stuff here, a whole bunch of just kind of random little things I'm working on here. Said David Union tools, the power sander and power router. I'm planning to do another video on those here in the near future. Back over here is just kind of a bunch of random stuff in there. These are Kotobukiya MSG option parts in here. These are Panaline accent colors there, brown and then black, some gray, different colors of that. And I got this secret compartment in my desk here that I had to pop open like that. Inside there is some MIG paints. Those are actually sent to me by a friend. I haven't had a chance to use those yet. I really need to get around to trying those out, but I just haven't had time. All right, so moving on. First shelf down, this is just kind of gonna be just an empty space for just kind of whatever I'm working on at the time. So as you can see, it's just Tristan stuff. So this is just all kind of parts and things that I'm working on with the Tristan. Down below that, got this container here, which is full of water slide decals. All different water slide decals and all that kind of stuff is in here. In this box, this is all option part sets. So in order to save space, I just kind of cut them out and just put them in these bags here, so that they're not taking up as much space in those boxes. And then in these two boxes, these are all just spare parts. So all the leftover parts you have from kits, just hang on to those because you never know what you might want to use some of those for. So it's just all spare parts from all sorts of different kits. And then hiding in the back there is my Gundam Fixed Figuration Deep Striker, just kind of chilling out. All right, over to this side, we got some, this is all just kind of option parts and option hands, things like that. It's got the option hands there. Pull this out and it's just full of different Bandai and Kotobukiya MSG option parts, option weapons. Underneath that is plot plates, just different thicknesses of plot plate there. And down here, as you might guess, what's in this drawer is all my Gachanen Mac K kits. So some of them are like the type that are in the balls like that, which I recently reviewed the new set of those. Some of them are like these special version ones that are just kind of out. So all those are in there. And then below that is bases, all kinds of bases, Bandai action bases, as well as stuff like this, just like wood block bases and other random things to use for bases for kids. All right, back up top. Here I got this Studio Ghibli poster I got from one of those things. If you see like on Facebook, sometimes those ads will come up for like t-shirts or posters or things like that that you like. And this was one of those that I bought, and I would definitely not recommend it. From a distance it looks okay, but up close the actual print quality of the image is just god-awful. But I really like the image, it's cool, but yeah, don't trust those websites. Also, almost forgot to mention here on my desk, a picture of my parents, love you guys. And over here, of course, just some different random stuff. Sori Kim's Gundam there again, some excess line art, some photographs there from friends of mine, a photograph of my grandfather up there. Just some few random things here on the shelf, Hachikuji figure, a couple of Dragon Ball figures that I'm working on. Just detailing those up, and there's the figure as busts, which I need to do something with those as well. Below that, got all my Gundam Machine Head heads in here, Dragon Ball kits here, Dragon Ball Mecha Collection kits, just a whole bunch of these containers, trays, very great for keeping stuff organized when you're painting. In this guy here, it's just all extra polycaps and things like that, small little bits. And this one is all scribing tools, so scribers and different tools. You can see some micro saws and things like that there too. This shelf is kind of mostly like deep limbo work in progress stuff. So over here, these boxes are not really representative of what's actually in there. There's just like other things in there that that are just kind of work in progress projects from like ages ago. And this is kind of more recent stuff that I'm working on. The Gundam 5 is a commission I need to work on, and then a couple other smaller things there, the Gyanko and Giroro kits there. Up front is 1/35 and 1/20 scale Mac K figures, and other just little resin and plastic character figures of different types and scale here. Next shelf down, this is all just kind of modeling supplies that are all bought just from Daiso. I'm using that stuff for a future project. In this box here is just the kits that I built like ages ago, and they were just kind of chilling in my parents' garage, and I brought them back with me from America, but I didn't want to bring back the boxes, so I just kind of brought them back as it is like that. So there's just kind of snapped kits there, just kind of for whatever. And then down at the bottom here is just some other camera bags back there, camera supplies, things in here. Got a couple of posters from magazines here. These shelves are for like stuff that I need for reviews, so like bases to put on my rotating base, different action bases here, UV light for testing that out on kits. Got my Xeon Mobile Suit Bear Brick collection here. Here I got my Ellen Kshatriya kits, a couple other larger master grade kits there at the bottom. And then these are all HG Iron Blood Orphans kits. So with these as well, just to save space, I just took them all out of the box and just put them all in here like this. So I know what each one of them are, but they're just taking up much less space. And probably the biggest improvement to the space is just my reviewing space here. So before I was just using like this same table, but I had like a really thin, maybe just like 1/4 inch piece of plywood, just flat piece for the top of this. Wasn't very stable, so what I did was just get some 1x4s, just make this a much more stable table. And then also, as you can see, painted this square space there on the wall to just make a nice simple background for doing unboxings and things like that. But then when I want to do some reviews and I need something a little nicer for the background, I can just pull down this blind here. This is just a regular window blind I just ordered online, exactly to the width and length that I needed. And I can just pull that out like so when I need a nice background for doing photographs and reviews and things like that. So my camera, which I'm using now, would usually be on this tripod here. I got this light for that, which goes on the top, which I sometimes use, sometimes don't. Otherwise, my 2 lights here on the side, just these small lights on stands. Don't really like these that much, but they're still kind of working for the time being. Got my ghetto rigged DIY diffusers on here. My Blue Yeti mic, which is a new thing which I recently got, which I'm now kind of getting used to using. Also my new rotating base here. If you saw this kind of circle thing over before, this is kind of what came with that, sort of Velcro onto the top of there. But instead of using that, I can use other different action bases or whatever I want just to put that on the top of here. That works pretty well. It's more reliable because it actually plugs into the wall. It's not battery powered. So underneath here, I got one more switch, just flip that, and then the lights are on for the recording station here. Underneath the desk is just kind of other work in progress stuff here that I'm like gonna work on sooner than later. Got my stool, another IKEA thing which I use for when I'm recording videos. You may be wondering why I have 1, 2, 3 chairs in this room when I probably could just use that same black chair and just kind of wheel it around wherever I need it to be. It's just comfortability. This one is much more comfortable for when I'm sitting here doing reviews and things. It's just a lot more comfortable than like a full-on chair. And then the same thing goes for when I'm spraying in the spray booth. While I'm just sitting there painting, I don't really need to move around. I just need to just kind of sit there in one place. So that one's just kind of more comfortable. Anyway, I got a power converter here because my camera equipment stuff is all like from the US, but we use a different type of plug here in Korea, so I need this big power converter there. In here is stuff like for Patreon patrons. It's just kind of different supplies and things like that that are just for giveaways for them. And then this lower one here is more camera equipment, so I've got like some smaller USB like external hard drives and other little microphone equipment, things like that in here. Under the desk over here, more external hard drives, and then resin kits, mecha kits, and figures. You can see they're from, some of them are official, most of them are recasts. This small desk here is meant to basically just be like for doing just computer work. So actually in this case, it's actually my tablet, my Wacom tablet. Really don't use that near enough, so that's why I kind of want to make my computer working space, while it be small, separate from my actual like Gunpla working space, so that I can actually have some space where it's not like getting dusty all the time, and I can have that out and be able to work on computer stuff separately. So my laptop would normally be there on top of there, but it's not here at the moment. And a lot of people have suggested to me to start using a more powerful desktop computer rather than a laptop, but the reason why I use a laptop is because I actually take it to my work basically every day. A lot of my editing and uploading and exporting videos, a lot of that I just do at work, in my downtime at work, so that's why I need a laptop to be able to take projects with me back and forth wherever. Alright, back up top here above there we've got some Evangelion figures, a poster there from Kevin's Clash of the Deities book, Evangelion figures, Converge figures, some of the larger ones there, and then about half of the collection of Converge figures, Gundam stand art there up at the top as well. A couple of Unicorn figures, Loran Seihak, Devil Gundam, Hachikuji, figure there again. The poster from the 1/44 scale Deep Striker from Ace Models, the terrible model I don't recommend, but at least it did come with a poster. Over here, a couple more unicorn figures there, and then the other half of the Converge figures. They're slightly organized, but not really. And a couple more Exceed Zaku heads there at the top, a few other things. Some of the Love Live figures that I recently showed you guys, and a couple more are down here at the top of the desk. And the last bit is this stack here. Now it's kind of basically all the HD The Origin kits are here, and then there's some more of the larger Iron Blood Orphans kits. The 1/100 scale IBO kits are all behind there. This front stack is actually stuff that I need to either sell or give away, so that's kind of what these all are here. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I guess you could say I've got kind of my own little slice of heaven here. And I think the room is better than it was before. There's kind of just more space out here in the center as well, with my apron lying on the floor. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think I have enough stuff to work on? I'm not sure. I think I probably need a few more things. Fuck. No, but seriously guys, this is not really meant to be like a want to show off my backlog or something like that. If anything, it's kind of like more embarrassing, the amount of stuff that I have, just because it's like obviously more stuff than anyone could probably finish in an entire lifetime probably, but I'm gonna do my best. Who knows, right? You know, if I am able to take this to be a full-time thing one day, you know, I might be able to finish half of this. But basically just want to do this video because people have been asking to see it. So people often ask to see my room, or just because it's changed recently, especially people wanted to see kind of the new layout that I had going here. People often ask me about where I display my kits. So pretty much what you can see on display in this room is all that I have on display. I have a small shelf out in like the dining room area with a few like character figures on that, and like a couple of my painted like detailed up Converge kits. But that's pretty much it. Basically everything, all the kits that I snap up, they basically just go back in the box. So the majority of that wall of boxes over there, the majority of stuff that's in those, I would say at least 60%, more than half, is built. It's just then put back in the box to await being painted. So that's what I do with my stuff, and that's what I do in this room. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully that was something interesting at least. I know it kind of looks like it, but I promise I'm not wearing a V-neck t-shirt. It's just the mic that I have pinned on my shirt here. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for watching. Leave any questions and comments, whatever you want, down below. I think I covered pretty much everything in the room here. So that's gonna be it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.